Hello, child-free friends! It is not raining today, so I'm gonna go outside and do some yard work. This is something my husband usually does, but I'm gonna surprise him and attempt to mow the lawn. I cannot believe how incredibly patient Caesar is being. He is usually clawing at the door like a crazy cat to get out. I think he's putting on his best behavior for you guys. So this is our daily compromise. They come outside for a little grass and I get to brush them. They don't love being brushed, but I don't love cat hair in my house, so this is what works for both of us. A few weeks ago I planted some grass seeds here because this area is pretty bare. Start to see little grasses finally. While I'm doing the outdoor work, I'm going to let Yuffie clean my floors. I've had this robot vacuum cleaner for about 2.5 years. I use it pretty much every single day. I love this thing. It saves me so much time. They're a little bit expensive, but I don't really like vacuuming, so it's totally worth it for me to invest in one. If you're interested in getting your own robot vacuum cleaner, check out the link in the description box below. The cool thing about Yuffie is their vacuum cleaners go on sale all the time, so that's definitely a bonus. Before I get out the lawnmower, there's a few other things I have to do in the yard, like tie up these plants so I don't run over them. And you're gonna notice on this second plant, I do a really bad job at tying it up because it's super crooked, but I'm like, whatever, I'll just leave it. The dead giveaway that I don't do yard work very often is gonna happen in 3, 2, 1, there we go. And it actually hit my finger, which hurt. Hummingbirds absolutely love this bush, but it needs to be trimmed just a wee bit, a little out of control. Look at me getting things done. One container full already. Time to get this extension cord wrapped up and then I can move on with something else. And as you soon figure out, I am so terrible at wrapping cords. I thought if I laid it down it would be easier than if I held it all in my hand because it was all twisted up, but oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie, this was really starting to annoy me because it just kept getting worse and worse. Do you remember what it looked like when I took it out? Yeah, that's how my husband wraps up cords. Okay, now we're getting to the actual reason why I came out here in the first place. Time to mow the lawn. I know it's probably gonna need some gas because I remember last time I tried to mow the lawnmower wouldn't start. And then I realized, oh shoot, there's no gas in it, so I added gas into it. But then I still couldn't start it. So I never ended up mowing the lawn. And later when Michael came home, he was like, well, did you prime the lawnmower? And I was like, what do you mean, did I prime the lawnmower? I clearly missed the bright red button on the lawnmower that says, press 3 times before starting the lawnmower. I'm totally cringing at myself here because if you look closely, I spilled some of the gas, and gas prices right now are over $2.30 per liter, which in American, that's like $6.89 per gallon, which means I shouldn't be wasting even a single drop. This gas can though is so awkward to pour from. It is big and it's like half full, so it's kind of heavy and it's just, I don't know, I just find it so awkward. And then I somehow got my glove caught in the cap when I was putting it back on. Oh my goodness, it's a day. Fingers crossed I'm going to be able to start the lawnmower. I think 70-30. I think 70% chance I'll be able to start it. Let's go find out. That section at the bottom is so awkward and I wasn't really sure how to turn around, but somehow we managed to do it and off we went. Backyard is pretty much mowed, gotta empty out the bag and then do the side yard. I guess being outside can be pretty therapeutic. I do like nature, even though I'm not that good at taking care of it necessarily, and getting away from working with people or sitting in front of a desk is actually quite nice. I do have to say though, our yard has some like weird corners and shapes in it, so it's a little bit awkward to mow. Michael does such a good job of mowing because he does it in this certain pattern and it makes all the lines nice, and I was just like, whatever, I'm just making the grass shorter. That was my only goal. So here's kind of a funny story for you about our yard. After we bought our house, but before we moved into it, the guy that was still living there contacted our real estate agent and said, "I'd like to meet the people that bought this house and explain to them how to take care of the plants." So our real estate agent called us and said, "Hey, this guy wants to meet you." So we literally went to his house, he handed me a notebook and a pen and told me, "Take notes," and then proceeded to walk around the yard for 2.5 hours and explain to us what every plant was called and how to take care of it. I'm not even joking. The whole thing was a pretty strange experience, but I know the guy was just trying to help us take care of this yard that he had poured himself into. He told us that he had spent tens of thousands of dollars on all of these plants, and in my mind I was thinking, buddy, you're gonna be lucky if these things are still living in 6 months from now, because we are not green thumb people. Now you might be asking yourself, why on earth did we buy a house that had a park for a yard if we're not green thumb people? And that is a very good question. We bought the house because we really liked the house. We got rid of a lot of the plants. We actually gave them away, don't worry, we didn't throw them out. And yes, a few of them did die. We now have our yard at a place that it's manageable for both of us, but I still feel like there's a lot of plants to take care of.